already have our new motor, the Toyota 2JZ.
Guys, so we have our new motor for the S13. For those of you guys who missed the last video, go ahead and watch that first. Then you'll know what happened to this. So, this thing blew up. Rod knock. Haven't pulled it out, haven't checked the oil yet, so I don't know exactly what happened yet. But it's definitely rod knock for sure. Some type of knock. Bottom end's fucked. Head should be okay. So what the plans are, we got this 2JZ GE non-VVTi from a Toyota Supra. So we're gonna use the block, get rid of this head, and we're gonna do 1.5J. Now I would just do a 2J, but JZ prices are way through the roof right now, and it's ridiculous, and I'm not spending $5 grand just for a motor. So I figured next best thing to get the displacement and the low end power of the 2J was 1.5J. I got a good head, got a good block, put them together, and I have all the low end of a 2J and all the JDM points of a 1J. So the biggest thing everyone was telling me was you want to make sure you get the block from a GE non-VVTi, because I guess the VVTi came with the weaker bottom end. The non-VVTi GE motors came with the 2JZ GT internals, just GE. So now that you guys know we're going to do a 1.5J in the S13, let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to do. I think I want to go ahead and pull the motor out today. So I'm just going to go ahead and tear apart the 2J, get all the stuff off of it that I know I'm not going to use. For sure I'm going to leave the head on, but like the rest of this manifold, the harness, just get it all off so it's a clean long block. And this will sit here for now. So let's go ahead and start tearing into that. We flipped the motor upside down. We took most of the stuff that are pretty much we're not going to use off. It's over there to the side. I'm just going to take a quick peek while we have it open and just take a look at how the pistons and the rods and the cylinder walls look. Anyways, since there's no pan on it, I don't really want to leave it open, even though it is in the garage. So I got some wrap here, some plastic wrap. We're just gonna wrap up the whole engine. That way, nothing can get inside and potentially ruin it. So let's go ahead and wrap it up real quick. What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining me today. We are gonna start the build of the 1.5J. Obviously, 1.5 is a 1J with a 2J block. So pretty much, as of right now, we're just going to start by pulling everything out of the car. That way we can get everything out, get this motor on an engine stand, get the tranny out so we can get rid of that and sell it, because you guys know, or if you guys didn't know, I don't think you guys know. Let me show you guys that real quick. Ditching the W58 that we had in the car, and we're moving towards a ZF trans. I actually picked that up the other day, and that is going to be able to hold a lot more power than this wimpy W58. So I posted on my Instagram a couple days ago, but the W58 swap is for sale. Flywheel, clutch, tranny, and drive shaft if you want it, with the cross member. All to go into the S13. If you don't need the S13 swap part, then flywheel, clutch, tranny, all for sale. So hit me up. So yes, I already know this is going to be kind of a longish, lengthiest process, but we got to do what we got to do. We want to get back up and driving as soon as possible. We just got the car finally looking pretty, then what do you know, pop goes the motor. So we're going to try to get this thing going as quick as possible. So first things first, let's go ahead and get everything out of the car and see what else we can do. if what comes out is pretty much metal. Yep. You can see all the metal in there. Woo! Look at that. Jeez. The drive shaft out, we got our exhaust off. Boy, was that a pain to get off. The nut on this side, if you look at it, got welded on with the flange. And the bolt was too long to just slip the exhaust out. And I couldn't get the hanger out without pushing the exhaust forward, but I couldn't because it was butting up against the flange, so I had to pull it back so I can get it off of there. But the hanger wasn't letting it go back enough, so then, long story short, I had to cut the bolt and we got the exhaust off. So that's going to be for sale as well. Pretty much, fluids are drained. We got to disconnect the clutch line, the power steering, and the shifter. Then we can just yank it on out. So let's go ahead and get as much done as we can. I don't know if I showed you guys any of this, but we got the intercooler. I can't talk right now. The radiator and fans off. Comes off with our little thing that we made. Intercooler piping off. We got a whole front fascia off, pretty much. Intercooler. It all bolts together, so it all unbolted at the same time. So yeah, as you can see, the whole front is off besides the dashboard. On this side, we got power steering undone. Power steering is undone, fuel is undone, clutch line on the bottom is undone. Throttle cable is off and to the side, as well as the vacuum line for the brake booster. On this side, we got our hose for our catch can out of the way because this is bolted onto the car. And our power wire from our alternator is off. All we gotta do is take the main harness out through the firewall, which you can see inside is already disconnected. Dropped our ECU, unplugged it, unplugged the igniter, so it's all ready to go. We also unplugged it from the chassis, and then yeah, just gotta feed this through, and we should be able to yank it out as far as like unbolting all the rest of the stuff. Well, there you go. The motor is out, and we are back to a rolling shell once again. But one good thing on the bright side, now that the motor is out, it gives me all the space to clean up all the overspray red dust from painting the car. So we can clean up the subframe and get the car looking good again. And then now we can start the whole 1.5J. Alright, now that we got the motor out, I'm going to go ahead and put the car back on the ground. That way it's just not on jack stands the whole time. I can roll it in and out of the garage as needed. Good thing about our scenario now compared to when we were building the car is now that it's a complete car, just needs a motor swap. So at least we don't have to try to build a whole new car, just got to build a motor. And also, since it's rolling, we can roll it in and then out of the garage. Not a problem. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this back on the ground, put the fascia back on it. That way it's just, we don't have pieces laying around everywhere. And we can start with our little motor, see what we're gonna do to it.